This next fellow, would you bring me that book, please? Thank you. This next fellow I'm going to introduce is Walter Worden, and we just released this collection of his poetry and illustrations. It is a wonderment. It was such a pleasure to do. Robert and I talk about Walter a lot, and not that he's derivative, but I think of him as an incarnate of Robert Frost. He talks about bucolic environment, and yet somewhere in the middle of it he becomes Zen and absolutely cuts to the bone. No fat. Bang. It is absolute pleasure. I've known this man for quite some time now, and he's a wonderful illustrator. Great stuff. Walter, grace us.
Well, if I wasn't nervous before, I am now. Thank you so much for that introduction. I'm at the age now that I'm starting to look back, and I'm trying to reconcile myself with the loss of youth. And a couple of the poems tonight that I'll be reading speaks to that. This one is called The Chosen Country. What I am seeing now, I saw then, but not as I am seeing it now. Not in this light that falls through the maples with the color of antique gold, giving the ground bright archipelagos within the ocean of shade. And then it is nearly done, as the afternoon ages into long shadows, stretching to bronze fields, burning in the sun, where the boy stands at the stone wall beyond which cows gather, and beyond the cows the hills, blue and biddable, as I remembered, the man now waiting for the long elegance of evening. This is called Comes Winter. This is very recent. What could have been done is done, and what could not is not. And the cold season comes like a brash, boorish uncle who arrives once a year without luggage, forcing you to ready the spare room, where leafless branches tap the windows and the sad odor of autumn still huddles in the corners amongst summer dust. With the uncle in the living room wearing a ragged bathrobe and sipping your good Sauvignon, a gift from someone in a past life, someone you loved but had forgotten or forsaken, reminding you that April is so far away and now your uncle wants lunch. This is called Ruminations at the Wake of an Old Acquaintance. Not having seen you for years, I did not recognize you, would not have declared it was you even without the concealing mask of death. When you were young and living when last we met, our eyes fixed on the fury distance of tomorrow. There was nothing in the manner of monsters that we much feared. Youth was armament that enclosed us, protection from the world's undisclosed dangers. Our arrogance also aided in engendering the false conviction that we were safe and unstoppable. But too soon, stark truth nested deep in the brain, like a great bird waiting with patience for prey to pass by. It takes but one strike of sharp beak or talon for the innocence to ooze out like the juice of a damaged melon. Fruit is always to blame. One taste, and we are dead. And finally, I want to read to Gaia, who is the Greek goddess of the earth. O Gaia, what measure is there of what man will do? What of damage done? There is none. no measure or no limits to his needs, though he is so a minor God, who tempts your ire that for so long you have tempered. And now the seas are black with the reckless bounty of his greed, tarring marlin, turtle, and gull, spewing gall on silvered beaches in sight of moon in heaven. Now in this dire hour when choice is given, what do we choose to be our children's gift? Now the planet spins between Eden and damnation, between tomorrow and oblivion, between the promised and the given. What god or goddess would yield such mercy to beings so bent on scattering stars and ravaging the treasures kept underfoot? What fury do you marshal? What malediction passes now at your long patient lips? What landscape will emerge at tomorrow's dawning? What new disease of the soul will finally drive us from your sheltering arms? Thank you.